Chinese semiconductor companies recently staged chip equipment tenders, with a total of 106 tenders so far. They include lithography machines. Nowadays, the majority of Chinese businesses employ both Japanese and domestic Chinese lithography equipment. A total of 28 lithography machines were bought, including 21 Japanese ones and 7 domestically made models. However, Chinese companies failed to patronize ASML amid U.S. new ban that prohibits ASML from selling certain lithography machines to China. This highlights China's determination to leave ASML behind, and it looks like China might be on its way to improving its chip technology, though without help from ASML. Does China have the equipment to produce semiconductors without ASML? What effects will China's snub have on ASML? Let's find out. Welcome to ASML Monopoly. Today, we're going to take a look at how Chinese chip companies have snubbed ASML in the purchase of chip equipment and its effects on both ASML and China. The best lithography technology is in fact provided by ASML. Only ASML is able to create EUV lithography equipment, which advances chip manufacture. The second generation EUV machines for 2 nanometers are now being mass produced by ASML and are anticipated to hit the market as early as 2024. This demonstrates the Dutch company's dominance in the lithography machine industry. Due to the recent US chip ban, ASML is unable to sell this technology to China. At first, the US only banned ASML from selling EUV lithography machines to China, but with the new ban, ASML can no longer sell even DUV lithography machines below 14 nanometers to China. As a result, China has achieved tremendous advancements in the technology of lithography machines, while ASML's market competitiveness has been diminished. China has pushed for the mass manufacture of lithography devices with 28 and 14 nanometer resolutions in recent weeks. This indicates a development in Chinese lithography machine technology. China has been ASML's top customer in recent years. They purchased 1/3 of the ASML lithography machines in the first quarter of 2021. China contributes the most to ASML's revenue and is a major contributor to the company's profits. As a result, ASML should ideally value China as a client. Unfortunately, this is not the case, as ASML has previously been prohibited from exporting EUV lithography machines to China. Recently, the US has restricted ASML from selling lithography machines below 14 nanometers to China. ASML has followed the US restrictions, which naturally make the Chinese chip industry angry. It is surprising that ASML will treat its largest customer like this. In light of ASML's attitude, China will naturally not sit idly and do nothing. In recent years, China has been working tirelessly to develop its own lithography machine, and today, China already has a complete lithography machine industry chain. Important systems like the machine laser system and the objective lens system are now produced domestically. China also has obtained the EUV lithography machine patents recently, showing that sooner or later, China will be able to produce lithography machines domestically. As ASML stopped selling lithography machines to China, Japanese lithography machines manufacturers began to extend an olive branch to give Chinese companies new options for chip manufacturing. Now China is ordering most of its machines from Japanese companies, which highlight China's decisive attitude. It is also important to note that Japanese lithography machines boast an impressive position in the world, just behind ASML. Today, ASML accounts for 60% of the lithography machine market, while Japan's Canon and Nikon account for about 40% of the market. This shows that Japanese lithography machine manufacturers still have the strength to compete with ASML, considering their 40% share of the market. In fact, before 2005, ASML was barely surviving in the lithography machine industry, while Japan's Canon and Nikon had a whopping 80% of the market share. It can therefore be seen that Japanese lithography machine manufacturers have excellent technical accumulation. ASML's current lead in the market can be attributed to later technological changes that put them slightly ahead of Japanese manufacturers. Japanese machine manufacturers have always hoped to restore their past glory, and now ASML's attitude towards the Chinese market has given the Japanese companies some hope. Recently, Nikon expressed its hope to obtain more lithography machine orders from Chinese chip manufacturers. It also has plans to more than triple its machine capacity over the next few years, generating revenue from aggressive sales of machines to Chinese manufacturers. Due to these changes, ASML must regret its decision to stop selling lithography machines to China. ASML executives have shown some form of goodwill to Chinese chip manufacturers recently, and have also greatly increased the number of employees in the Chinese market. It has also established a maintenance center, 3 development centers, and 15 offices in China. The number of employees that ASML has in China has reached 1,500, and the company plans to employ 200 more people in China, hoping to provide better services for Chinese chip manufacturers to win orders. When China was ASML's biggest customer, ASML did not know how to appreciate it. Now that China snubs it, ASML has really regretted its decision and is beginning to change its attitude towards China. In addition, China is expected to build a photonic chip production line which should be ready by 2023. This completely puts China ahead in the world in terms of photonic chips, which changes the current route of chip technology entirely. This development shocked foreign media, who marveled at China's rapid development in chip technology. Photonic chips are a major chip advancement, and they have many technological applications. The first is their super-fast computing speed. Also, it possesses an extremely large information capacity, which will be 1,000 times higher than the current silicon-based chips. This will indicate a forward leap in chip technology. Today's technology industry needs more powerful chips due to the explosive growth of data. Photonic chips will therefore be very useful, as they would meet the demand for chips with much higher information capacity. The second important feature of photonic chips is their lower power consumption compared to silicon chips. The power consumption of photonic chips is nearly 1,000 times lower than silicon-based chips. All companies that make use of chips are getting increasingly worried about the power consumption of silicon-based chips. Around the world, such companies are getting increasingly worried about the energy consumption of silicone chips. Only about 30% of the power consumption of silicone chips is used for processing, while about 70% is heat generation, and the air conditioning system built for it, resulting in a huge waste of energy. Another important thing to note is that photonic chips will completely break the process limit of silicone-based chips. Currently, the industry believes that the limit of silicone-based chips is 1 nanometer, and TSMC's advancement program to develop 3 nanometer chips has faced great difficulties. The mass production of TSMC's 3 nanometer process was delayed by nearly a year. But when it arrived, the performance did not meet expectations, and the cost was too high for many chip companies to bear. The price of ASML's second-generation EUV lithography machine for the 2 nanometer process will reach $400 million, which is more than 3 times more expensive than the EUV machine used for the current 5 nanometer process. Also, the power consumption of the new machine has increased several times. This shows that the improvement in silicone chips as they approach 1 nanometer is very expensive. Also, the energy consumption of the chips increase as they develop further. Photonic chips can effectively reduce costs and will also change the current chip manufacturing process. The various commercial applications of photonic chips is of great importance to the Chinese chip industry. China's breakthrough with photonic chips means that it will completely get rid of its dependence on foreign chips. The development also puts China in pole position to lead technological advancements in global chip technology. China's current research and development of 7 nanometers and more advanced processes is affected by the supply of lithography machines from ASML. However, the mass production of photonic chips will make China no longer need ASML's lithography machine in the development of its chip industry. It is also reported that photonic chips can be used in communication, server chips, LiDAR, medical, and other industries, which will provide China's leapfrog development in many technological industries. China's new 5G technology is ranked first in the world and in emerging technologies such as autonomous driving and artificial intelligence. China is also at the forefront of the world. The US continues to impose restrictions on China's chip technology because it fears that China's technology may pose a threat to the US position in the world. China's recent breakthrough in photonic chips not only breaks this limitation, but also becomes a booster for China in the field of emerging technologies. Looking back at the past 10 years, the global chip industry has always been led by overseas chip companies. However, in just a few years, Chinese chips have made great progress and might one day be the global leader in chip technology. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to click that like button, and if you're new, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.